President Bola Tinubu has lifted the state of emergency in Rivers State with effect from midnight. And this followed a statement signed by the president to bring an end to the emergency in the state. The statement says Governor Siminalayi Fubara, his deputy Ngozi Umar Odu, and members of the Rivers State House of Assembly and the Speaker Martin Samuel will resume work in their offices from 18th of September 2025. The president reminded the governor and the members of the House of Assembly in an atmosphere to ensure an atmosphere of peace, order, and good government, and that is what is needed for dividends of democracy to be delivered. Our reporter Manuel Ajayi takes you through a detailed look at the state of emergency in Rivers State and in Nigeria.
President Bola Tinubu declares the state of emergency on March the 18th for 6 months in Rivers State, suspending Governor Fubara, his deputy, and state lawmakers. Vice Admiral Ibok Eteyibas, retired, was appointed as the sole administrator of Rivers State. The declaration is to restore order and democracy in the state. On June 26, 2025, Nyesom Wike and Siminalayi Fubara met with President Bola Tinubu to reach an agreement. Vice Admiral Ibok Eteyibas, retired, oversaw several initiatives, including the local government election held on Saturday, August 30th, with APC winning 20 seats. Others include verification exercise, infrastructure rehabilitation, stabilization measures. On September 13, 2025, Vice Admiral Ibok Eteyibas announced transition activities, including an interdenominational church service, to mark the end of the state of emergency in the state and to return to a democratic governance. On September 14.
Now let's bring in Niger Delta activist Ankyo Briggs for more on this development. Thanks for joining us on the news at 7. President Tinubu again has insisted that the state of emergency was a constitutional necessity to save Rivers from total paralysis. He cited legislative gridlock, vandalism of assets, and even a Supreme Court ruling. As someone who strongly opposed it, do you now see any justification in his arguments looking back 6 months after?
Good evening, and thank you for having me. Definitely not. My position all along, and the position of a lot of Rivers people, and that's why we protested, we disagreed, we went to court. There are court cases still hanging in different courts across Rivers State, Bayelsa, up to the Supreme Court in Abuja. Now that he has lifted the state of emergency, that does not sweep under the carpet a lot of questions that Rivers people are asking and do have a right to ask and will continue to ask. The IBAS came in. The governor of Rivers State left for 6 months. Within that 6 months, he met things on ground. Those things he met on ground, what did he do with them? What did he do about them? Did he continue with the projects that the governor had going? The answer is no. We've been taken backward. There are so many issues about the funds he has collected on behalf of Rivers State in the past 6 months. Yes, the governor and the former governor of Rivers State have reconciled. They tell us that they have reconciled. That's fine that they have reconciled. It's also fine that eventually the 6 months has come and passed.
It has. And like you mentioned, opposition leaders have also called for a probe of the interim government that Rivers had in the past 6 months. We'll see how that goes in the coming days. But Governor Fubara resumes tomorrow. Some stakeholders like Toye Cole are saying that he will have zero powers, reduced to a figurehead by political compromises. You don't agree with them, do you?
Of course I do, because you see, we are not intimate with what the governor was subjected to, because the disagreement is between him, as I said, and the former governor, not between him and Rivers people, not between Rivers people and the former governor. It was between the both of them. Now that they have reconciled, that does not take away the fact that when he left, the commissioners he appointed were removed. The local government issue was already becoming a crisis. The new local government elections have been held. We all saw what happened during the local government election. It was not an election, but we all have, the 23 governments have local government chairmen. We will see what they can or cannot do for Rivers people. Therefore, he's surrounded, the governor, Governor Similai Fubara, when, and the word is when he resumes tomorrow. The issue is he able to continue from where he left off?
It is.
Is he able to do what he wants to do for Rivers?
I hear you clearly, but allow me to butt in, because interestingly, Mr. Governor and his former appointees appears to be speaking differently from your position. They are saying, you know what, look ahead, let's promote unity and let us move on from what has happened. But after 6 months of emergency rule, sole administered local government elections, and what appears a deepened mistrust, what concrete steps must Rivers leaders and indeed its people take now to avoid another cycle of crisis?
We must take the path of justice. We must take the path of truth, because without truth and without justice, I don't see how you are having peace. But then, like I said, it's not the people of Rivers State that had a disagreement with Similai Fubara. It's not the people of Rivers State that had a disagreement with the former governor of Rivers State. It's between the two of them. And so when I hear people say, Rivers people, shield your swords, I'm wondering, what swords are we shielding? We were the people of Rivers State. We're fighting with nobody. We were happy with the governance of Similai Fubara. Now that the two of them and the elders of the political party that the governor, the governors, the former governor and the present governor belong to the PDP. Now that they say that they have made up, that's fine. Now let's move forward. Where does that leave the people of Rivers State? We're asking questions, and I believe those questions must be answered. Dele Cole, if you said, sorry, Tonya Cole, as you said, has said that the governor is coming back and he's not going to be able to achieve anything. Well, these are the concerns that people of Rivers State, a majority of people of Rivers State have, because of the mandate, the so-called mandate that has been achieved. We don't know if the mandate is in favor of Rivers State and Rivers people, and to a very large extent, the governor, Similai Fubara, that is coming back tomorrow. Where I guess, does that leave him, and where does that leave us?
Perhaps time will tell. Mr. Governor is back tomorrow. Hopefully it opens a new and peaceful page in Rivers history, and we'll return to this conversation subsequently. Niger Delta activist Ankyo Briggs, thank you for talking to us.